Welcome back to the Caffeinated Comic Club. I am Garen. This is Marsh, and it is Pride Month, week 3. Our special guest today is Final Hex Girl, aka Hex. Hex, how are you? Thank you for being here.
I'm great. How are you guys? I'm so glad to be here.
All over the place.
Yes, that is Same. accurate.
Very glad. I love the energy though. We're starting with giggles. That usually bodes well for Marsh and I when we laugh a lot before we even start the whole thing. So I feel like we're gonna need some giggles to get through this week's book, which is String by Paul Tobin. How did everyone feel in a general one sentence about this book before we dive into other things?
I'll let Hex go first. The writer is extremely horny 24/7. That's what I
That
took
is
away from this book.
that is very, very true.
I've used this sentence before, but it's a book that exists and it has words and art.
Yes, I read it. That is my sentence about the book. I feel like I have to do this on this pod so often. This is my public apology to anyone who has read this book or will read this book. I chose it because it had bisexual rep in it. I did no research on reviews, nothing. It looked pretty. There was a bisexual person in it, so I picked it. So
It's so real though, because when I
apologies
looked it
all.
up on Comic Geeks, the description sounded interesting and like the colors are gorgeous, the art looks pretty. I do
Mhm,
not blame you for being interested. All
mhm.
right. Agreed. When he told me the synopsis, and he's because we were gonna read something else. I don't remember what it was, but we were gonna read something else. And Gare messaged me. I was like, "What if we read this one instead? This is the synopsis." I was like, "That sounds really cool. Sounds really great. Let's read that." And yeah,
Yeah. I will say though that this book is a much better time than the other book that we were slated to read, which I've read before. It's Fun Home, a graphic memoir about a lesbian whose dad is gay and kills himself. So, yeah, it's incredible. It's a very good story, but it's also horrifically sad. And I was like, we can't do this on the pod.
yeah,
this is
yeah.
a
That's
this is
fair.
a read at home with some soup, you know. But I honestly kind of would have preferred that over this. I will say because I feel like there's not much here depth wise, but we'll get into it later. What is everyone sipping on today? Hopefully, there's more than one person drinking caffeine because I'm not.
I'm double fisting as always. So Coke Zero and Liquid
Hmm.
Death. I have a vanilla Starbucks double shot. That sounds good.
I miss a double shot. I miss a double shot.
I
So
literally went out
good.
to get them today so that I would have one for this because it's my dream. So
I I guessed it on I guessed it on the Mighty Morphin podcast that Caleb and Blue Jack do, and they made a joke about how this should be called the Decaffeinated Comic Club at this point because I'm always just drinking water, and I was like, "Period." But Marsh is drinking at least 2 caffeinated drinks for the both of us.
exactly. Exactly. Sometimes 3, it just depends on the day. And I have the double shot, so
Yeah.
it's double the caffeine. We're good. We're good.
Yeah, there's so much caffeine to go around, it should be in the air at this point. I did have a Diet Coke today though, with my salad for lunch and made me feel crazy for a good hour and a half, but it was great while it lasted. Before we start talking about the book, there's a few things that we gotta talk about first. Hex, how about you tell everybody what your origin story is with comic books and, like, how it intersects with your queerness, if it does, like, characters that you love, things of that sort?
Well, comics I didn't quite get into until I was a teenager, and even then, I was only able to pick up like 3 single issues from a shop that we stopped at like one time. So I didn't really get into comics until I was an adult, but I grew up loving MCU and DC stuff, Teen Titans, and like everything that we all watched growing up. But some of the characters like in comics that I feel like I relate to are Korra and Asami specifically. Like I love Korra so much and getting to read their journey, like and exploring Korra's queerness was just so incredible. After seeing the show and them exploring being bi, it's just so exciting. And I also, although they're not like in comic books, Marie Moreau and Jordan from Gen V are really, really cool bi characters that I like and relate to a lot. So I wanted to shout them out too.
How do you feel about that show, the way it ended? Did you get some closure on that? Because 'Cause they're not making any more, correct?
I may or may not have not finished season 2. That's fair.
I have not finished either of those shows, and I don't know if I ever will, honestly.
I
It's
love the
a
characters.
tactic.
I only watched some of The Boys. There are some episodes I was like, I think we're just done with The Boys. And then Gen V came out, and I was like, it's in the same like universe. I'm like, I'm fine. I can just not.
The Boys
I
is
love
not
seeing
good.
I had a lot more fun.
I don't like The Boys.
I was just gonna say I also really liked Gen V, whereas The Boys was kind of a chore for me to get through. Is that kind of the same experience that you've had?
Yeah, the boys definitely, like, fell off. I mean, the last thing I remember even being mildly interested in was Stormfront, I think her name was, and them fighting her, and, like, after that, it kinda just fell off, and I loved Gen V, and the way that the kids and their traumas intersected with their powers was so interesting and incredible, and I started season 2, and then I think whatever we watched, it just kinda didn't keep my interest, and then wasn't really interested in the boys, but I do wanna finish Gen V. I don't know if I care about finishing the boys, but I do wanna finish Gen V because I do love those characters.
You will have to let me know how it goes and if it's worth it. I really struggled with the 2nd season after, they had to write off Chance Perdomo's character because he passed away in real life, and I just felt like he was such a big part of the reason why that show worked. His performance was so honest, especially with Marie, and I just didn't love what was happening in season 2. I never finished it because of that, you know? So you have to let me know how that goes.
If I ever finish it.
If you ever finish it, yeah. Did you watch any of Gen V, Marsh, or only The Boys?
Only The Boys. I actually didn't give Gen B a try at all. So,
Understandable. It feels kind of like X-Men in a way. All the trauma,
mm,
they're at a school, like I think that's why I relate to it. Enjoyed the first season specifically. Amazon is interesting because they have The Boys and Invincible, which I'm gonna be honest, I haven't watched all of Invincible. I've watched like the first 2 seasons. Do either of you watch that show? And what are your feelings on Invincible?
I've watched the first season, and I think I've watched season 2 and 3, but it's been so long since I've kept up with it.
the first season came out, and I remember I watched, like, I don't if they were dropping week by week, I watched up until, like, episode 4 or 5 or 6 maybe, and, like, I really liked it. I was like, "I wanna read the comic books." And so I read the first compendium, and I've had 2 and 3 since the show came out, 2021, but no, 2022, whatever. They're on my shelf, and I've always seen season 1 to, like, episode 5 or 6, and that's it. But Chris loves it.
Mm.
Chris wants me to watch it. I just haven't watched it yet.
That's baffling to me. Like,
Mhm.
knowing your husband, that's baffling that he likes Invincible.
He
That's
does.
wild because he's not a superhero kinda guy,
He
like,
just
typically, right?
he just likes shows. He just likes to watch things. So if it keeps
Versus the
his
comic books.
right, so, like, if it keeps his attention, he likes it a lot. Like, we just watched One Piece, and he really loved One Piece. He's actually really sad that there's not any more One Piece right now. I was like, "There's, like,
Wait, like,
thousands of them."
are you caught up on the anime,
No, no,
or are
no,
you
no,
caught
no,
up
no,
on
no,
the
no, no,
live
no.
action?
I'm talking about the live action. He will not do the anime.
I was
That
gonna
is
say that there's a lot of that because if you guys got through that, that's crazy.
well, that's what I said. I was like, "If you want to watch more One Piece, we can watch the anime," and he's like, "No." And it's like, "Okay, then we'll just wait for the next season, whenever that is." A
That would
long
take
time from now.
so long. Yeah, true. Who's the really hot guy on the live action? Is he like does he have, like, white hair?
Uh,
They found him in, like, episode 2 or 3, I think.
Zoro.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I need to watch more simply
mhm.
because I was like, "There's a hot person that I can
San
root for."
Sanji's also kinda hot too. You don't meet him until, like, episode 4 or 5, but he's also kinda hot.
I don't think I know who
He
that one
cooks.
is. I don't really know anything about One Piece other than the 2 episodes I've watched, and then, an ex-boy in my life made me watch, fight compilations one time. That's all I know. So, I kind of stay away from it because of that.
Fight
Um,
compilations. What year is this?
yeah,
What year is
that like,
this?
there's a whole YouTube thing where you can just watch a bunch of fights between characters.
Nickelodeon will live stream, like, just Avatar: The Last Airbender fight compilations.
Wait,
It's it's, like, not the episodes, not full episodes, it's just fighting.
for real?
That's so wild.
That's so
Nickelodeon needs to
weird.
leave that IP alone. I'm still butthurt about the whole Korra of it all. The final season getting moved from television to online because they were going in a lesbian direction, so they moved them online. You had to watch it on the Nickelodeon website. That's crazy to me. That's still crazy to me.
It's awful.
Anyway.
I got into Korra way after that happened, but I can only imagine what it felt like watching it unfold during it.
Yeah, it was gross. It was gross. I mean, it was, of the times. I don't even think gay marriage was legal yet at that point, but, still, it was a gross thing. But I have the Blu-ray now, so I won at the end of the day. Nickelodeon, if you're listening, please don't be listening. I can't handle anything else right now. What is everybody pulling this week? Marsh, do you have more than 3 books this week? Are
Let
you
me
still on
see.
your whole trimming
Trimming
the hedge of comic
the
books? What's a metaphor?
Or
I
trimming the
don't
bush.
Trimming the bush. Trimmed your bush.
That's what I almost said, and I was like, "Wait."
Happy Pride Month. Shout out to the gays.
I
That's
have
so funny. Sorry.
You're fine. I have 4 books this week. So
Okay.
so we're
Okay.
1 up from last week. I also did pick up Catwoman, Absolute Catwoman, so I did pick up 4 books last week. But this week I have Absolute Batman number 21, End of Life number 5, Nightwing number 139, and Odin number 2. Because Odin number 1 was
Okay.
actually really, really good.
You decided no Absolute Green Arrow. I see you.
Oh, is that this week? I'll probably pick that up. So insert Absolute Green Arrow. It's not on my pull list, but it'll probably get pulled. Or I'll probably pick it up.
Okay. What about you, Hex? What are you pulling this week?
So I maybe I'm not supposed to have these yet, but
Oh, you can show us?
Perks.
So we
We're
have
currently filming this on Wednesday morning at 9 a.m., just so everyone
Yes.
knows.
we have Sorcerer Supreme number 7, Smile for the Camera number 4. Totally forgot that I got this Vampirella cover. I think it's meant to be like a K-pop Demon Hunters homage. Thought it was cute. But then we have Dream Girls number 3, the Ivy Pride cover.
Ooh, that's pretty.
And then World's Finest number 52 is the Supergirl movie cover.
I'm also pulling that. That's on my list too, by the way.
Yeah, if that's there, I'm going to get it. That is gorgeous.
And then I didn't pre-order, but I definitely want to pick up Odin 2 because Odin 1 was really good, and I want to pick up Excommunicated number 2.
Very cool.
But I'm pulling Absolute Batman number 21, Absolute Green Arrow number 2. I'm going to get that World's Finest because of the Supergirl one, Batwoman number 4. Oh my God, I'm pulling so much this week. Dream Girls number 3. Okay, that's it on DC. I was getting scared for a second. Uncanny X-Men number 30. Very excited about that because it's been a week, or it's been 2 weeks, I can say it. Monet St. Croix, my favorite character from Generation X, is now leading the team because Rogue and Gambit got to go do something else, and they invited Monet to take over. And I'm very excited because she never gets her flowers in these books. X-Men United number 4. Magic and Colossus number 5. I'm going to pull Sorcerer Supreme number 7. Inglorious X-Force number 6. Holy shit. It's nonstop every week. Okay, that's it. And I'm pretty sure I don't have any indies.
Odin number 2.
Number 2. Yeah, that's it.
And
That's
Excommunicated number
it.
2.
Oh, and Excommunicated number 2.
Super Creep Show number 4 is a Days of Future Past homage cover, so I might get it. That's really cool. Look at that.
I think I saw that on something.
Ooh, that is cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, if it's there, I'll get it. But that's it for me. Just a solid 11 books. You know, the vibes.
Can I ask if the Uncanny X-Men, are they still dealing with Gambit's problem with his
Yeah.
Is that why they're not there?
Yeah, that's where they're finally going to take care of it because he sprouted fucking wings out of his back.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, he tried to eat a cat.
It's a whole Sorcerer
It's a
Supreme
whole
kind of
thing.
thing. Yeah, he had a cat in his jacket, and Rogue was like, "What? It's under your jacket, Remy?" And he was like, "Nothing." And she opens it, and it's a cat that he's about to eat. I was gagged to the floor. Gail Simone's crazy. I love her.
Giving
She's
back
insane.
ribs.
Yes, it was too much. Too much. Speaking of too much, I guess we should dive into this book. I'm going to read a little summary of it, and then we can just see where the wind takes us. Okay? All right. String by Paul Tobin is a supernatural crime thriller graphic novel, also by Carlos Javier Olivares, by the way, everybody. It follows Yoon, a Korean American woman who can see mysterious strings connecting people. Blue strings reveal sexual relationships, whilst black strings connect murderers to their victims, or vice versa. Using this unusual ability, she works with the police to help solve violent crimes as a consultant. Yoon is used to seeing other people's secrets, but her life is thrown into chaos when she discovers a black string attached to herself. Since black strings only connect killers and victims, she realizes that she is destined either to murder someone or be murdered. Determined to uncover the truth before it's too late, she dives into a dangerous mystery filled with crime, dark secrets, and unexpected twists, which I think is a hilarious thing for the Beat to say in their summary of this book, unexpected, because I felt like this book was incredibly predictable throughout so much of it. Like it was like a filler episode of Criminal Minds with supernatural powers. That's kind of how I would describe this book. What are y'all's initial thoughts? Any big crazy things stand out that you just need to talk about before we start diving into questions?
In regards to this book.
Yeah.
Not
You
for
wanna start?
me.
How long do we have? I think if I had to summarize it, I would say that the comic feels like what Republicans fear queer writers and stories are, but, like, any comic I've read that's written by actual queer writers and I've tried to research and see if Paul Tobin is queer, and I couldn't find anything. He is married to a woman, but based on stuff that's in his comics, I would say maybe he's queer. Maybe they're poly. I don't know, but I couldn't find any confirmation. But anyway, I digress. Other comics I've read that were written by queer writers were much less sexual, but still representative of queer
Mhm.
experiences and, like,
Mhm.
not as overt. And yeah, this just feels like what Republicans are like, "A gay agenda."
You know what? That's actually a very astute assessment of this because it does feel like someone is cosplaying as a gay person or like doing a caricature of a gay person. Like I said earlier, I picked this book because there was bisexual representation. I didn't even know that there was non-binary representation in this book in the form of Luke the cop. So I can't, and also I can't really speak on if that was a good representation of a non-binary person. They were just there, and honestly, sometimes that's all people want is to just be there. There wasn't anything too sexual and weird about them. When it comes to our main character, she is bisexual, but I think I only know that because I read that like in a synopsis or something like that because in this book, I don't know if it's actually said out loud. You get it from context that sometimes she hooks up with girls and boys, like sometimes a threesome is what she says. But it was a very much like straight man fantasy of a bisexual woman, is what I got from
Yeah.
reading this book without talking about anything really deep about the sexuality.
It felt like a one big, like, fetishization of everything. It was so bizarre.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it was like, I'm gonna say this right quick, Marsh, and then you go ahead with your thought. But what I was gonna say was there was so much random like horniness placed in that felt like it was, I mean, truly random and out of nowhere. Like for instance, there's a scene where she's walking with Luke and she tells them, "We can't go back to my apartment together because these cases make me horny." And they were just like, "Okay, I don't even understand. I don't even understand." Go ahead, Marsh.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't really have much to add on to that because that's actually what I was gonna bring up, that and, like, she was just kinda like, "When I get anxious, I get horny," and I was like, "What?" Like, I mean, I get it.
Record scratch.
Yeah, people deal with problems in their own ways, and I can see how it can maybe work that way for some people, but I was just like, "Why are we bringing this up?" Like, you're like, obviously, you just can't go back to your place because there was somebody there. It was just very bizarre and weird, and then, like, the other thing that was weird to me is, like, she just, like, broke into Luke's house because she had the black string attached to her, and she didn't know what to do, so she went to hit their apartment, and I was just like, "What are we doing here? Why do you just randomly break into a police officer's apartment? What, or detective's apartment?" And I don't know. It was this whole book was just bizarre to me. That's all. That's all I
Yeah,
have to say about it.
yeah. This whole book also takes place over the span of 2 full days. So, Luke and Yoon meet in the first issue, and then by the second issue, she's breaking into their house, and she's telling them, "Oh, I've gotta go get a coffee or gotta go take a shower and shit." Or, when I get anxious, I get horny." Or like, there were just so many random unhinged things that Yoon would do, and I was like, "I don't understand this character at all," because, like, sure, you're trying to show us that she just, like, operates how she wants to, but at the point of, like, being, like, deeply unlikable, and, like, with these powers and this job, she should be cool. Like, she's a consultant with superpowers, she should be cool, but instead, just really, like, I don't know, I didn't find anything about her other than the fact that she was, taking care of that dog, but that's just I'm a dog person. So I was like, "You're doing the right thing," the only thing, honestly, but I didn't really like her.
I was gonna say, it's interesting to me, I think he actually gave more depth to the porn star character than to the main character by, like, beating us over the head and being like, "She likes plants, she likes helping homeless people, she does all these other things outside of her career," and then we never see Yoon do anything other than be like, "I have this brooding trauma, I see strings, I'm horny."
With no closure at all on the trauma. Not a bit of closure, no growth with this character at all. You're so right. You're so right because that's all she does do is be horny and run, you know? So, the porn star with a heart of gold really liked her, but it's because I feel like that's the character that he cared about the most, like you said, and I think it's because he is so ridiculously horny. Like, what porn is he watching that he just stole this girl from? And he's like, "I bet she does plants in the park." And so he wrote her into the book. Like, I don't know. I feel like I was just really, really mad throughout this whole thing, and that was one thing. I was kinda mad about the whole, like, Latin gang versus, like, Italian gang thing because it felt like it leaned too heavily on a lot of very specific kind of outdated racist tropes, and this book is not that old, so I was kinda gagged about that.
There was
There's
also
just
an
so
offhand
much.
comment where they said something like, "I swear these little bug fuckers have gang signs and shit." Like, why are we talking about bugs having gang signs? Like, on what planet did that need to be said in any way? I
Yeah, that was the prostitute with a heart of gold that said that, by the way, for anyone listening. Just a baffling, baffling book. Were there any things that stuck out to you, Marsh, any
I
other
also
specific moments?
Yes, when they went to the manager's office to, like, figure out, like, 'cause, Yoon wanted to meet the porn star's manager. I forgot what the porn star's name is, so porn star.
Yitty or Liddy or something like that.
Liddy
Letty,
Mondo.
I almost
Liddy
said
Mondo,
I almost said titty.
Liddy Titty, me on a Saturday night.
Did anybody else catch that her dog's name changed in the middle of the comic?
No,
Yeah, so, like, in issue 2, she's talking to Yoon about her dog and is like, "Somebody murdered my dog, please help." The dog's name is Peggles with a G, and I was like, "That's weird. Ha, another thing, writer, weird, right, okay." And it says Peggles multiple times, and then in one of the later issues, it's Pebbles with B's, and I was like, "Did the writer literally, like, forget what he named the dog?"
he wasn't horny when he wrote that second scene, so he just put pebbles.
Yeah.
Paul Tobin, if you somehow find this, if one of your fans sends you this, we just wanna know why. We just wanna understand, you know?
Well, so Marsh, he's writing a comic that's coming out called Junk Punch about a woman who is compelled to punch men in the dick.
I read the synopsis of that and I was like, "That sounds dumb."
Yeah. As soon as I read it, I was like, "That's a fetish comic." Well, everything about Paul Tobin says that he's an Eisner Award-winning writer, and he is, but I think that was for, like, Plants vs. Zombies, and that's not, like, an original, like, thing that he wrote. That obviously, it's for another property, and I just don't know if we could run around saying we're an Eisner Award-winning writer if that's what we won the award for, but, you know.
You're telling me that this man wrote a Plants vs. Zombies comic in
Look
the
at his
same life
website.
that he wrote this?
Hold on,
A
I
lot
have
of
to
his
look
stuff
this
is,
up
like,
right now.
webtoon.
You know what though? That actually tracks.
Yeah.
That's not surprising to me.
Now that you
That's
say
not
that, this does feel like a webtoon.
it feels
This book
very webtoon.
was this on Webtoon first? This is rated teen plus. Okay. Teens,
Can we
don't pick up this book.
there's a whole scene. Parents, there's a whole scene.
That orgy scene was wild, by the
Yeah.
way. The art on that was crazy. Just the inclusion of it, crazy.
Wait,
Could
wait,
excuse it
wait, wait, wait,
just
wait.
'cause
I read that like 2 weeks ago. I don't remember the first issue except
That's
she's
for
where
the
they're
fact.
running at
explaining
the
her and she was like, "Oh,
That's
a
right.
celebrity hired," like, I
Yes.
did that to track and see how my powers work, and a celebrity also, like, used it to see if their partner was cheating, but then they found it hot, and there's,
Ye
like, another
yeah.
random sexual comment that's unnecessary and does not serve the story.
Speaking of another weird sexual thing, when they also hired her to figure out if the daughter was sleeping with the butler, and then it turned out that the mom and the dad were sleeping with the butler, so
They
everybody
were
was
all
sleeping with the
sleeping with the
butler.
hot butler. What the fuck? Y'all, that was such a gag to me because, first of all,
That's gross.
were they all the same age? Was confused by the drawing, was confused by everything about that because she was like, I don't know why they didn't think that I would notice that they were also fucking the butler. What? This writing was crazy. Like crazy. I'm so
Yeah.
glad that we're all bitching about this together. This feels like a really good bitch session.
I was
I
honestly
have
worried that y'all liked it. I was like, "Please don't like it so we can all just hate on it," because I did not enjoy it at all.
Mm-mm.
I also thought that the reason that the other police officers didn't like Yoon was because she had, like, that power. But, like, the more and more we discuss it, I think it's just because she just wasn't a likable person and that she was kind of like a gross character. And I'm just like, maybe that's it. Maybe that's why. It's probably both. Probably both things. But yeah. Also, the way that she like just told Luke that the person that they were seeing was sleeping with somebody else.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just
and then at the end, I don't know if you caught it, it was insinuated that she was gonna sleep with Luke's ex.
oh, no, no,
I
no, no,
think she
They had a
confirmed
she
blue
it on
did.
the last
string.
page.
She said that she did. Yeah, they had like a like
Oh,
she came back to her house. Yeah, it's
okay.
very weird.
I had a problem with a lot of the things that Yoon was saying, which I guess I should say, since I don't leave people on like a cliffhanger, the statement that made me put it down and not pick it up for over a week in the first issue, she was talking about her powers and explaining, seeing whether or not like murderers and victims. And she says, a justifiable killing in the line of duty doesn't actually count. And that like left me so dumbfounded. I
Yeah.
and the fact that it was published in 2024, like, and all the things that we've experienced with Black Lives Matter and ICE, like, I reading that coming out of a person of color's mouth was to another person of color was crazy, and,
Mhm.
like, then a few pages later, this writer felt like he kept wanting to dip his toes into saying, like, "I'm woke, but I don't wanna shove it down your throat." Like, dancing around it, and when they said, like, they were one of the good cops, and I'll just leave all my social commentary aside, like, that feels like something white people would say and not people of color because, like, that's a people of color's lived experience. It's not commentary, it's not an opinion, it's their experience, and I would think that that would be something for them to bond over. I mean, not that they necessarily wanna talk about that all the time, but, like, that just totally felt like something a white person would say, and I was just like, "Oh my god."
Mhm. Paul Tobin is white, correct?
From what I could find.
Okay.
His
I'm trying to see how old he is. Oh, he's 61 years old. He is white and he is bald.
The hair flip.
Yes, he is a white man. So yeah, I wonder if he was really big on Tumblr. Back in our day, there were a group of people on Tumblr that were very much speaking for other people, other minorities, the social justice warriors. That term was kind of coined in the Tumblrverse, and it was very scary. And there were a lot of rules and a lot of policing of things. And I will say that a lot of that dialogue felt like I was back in 2011. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yes. I was actually gonna ask you when it was written because I didn't look that up. But
2024.
to know that it was written in 2024, this felt like you said very, very Tumblr-esque. Tumblr-esque
Mhm.
time. I don't even know what Tumblr is now. It could still be the same. I hope it's not. I hope it's evolved a little bit. But
I'm gonna tell you it's still the same and there's barely anyone on it, but there are still active users. I do have the app on my phone, but
okay.
mostly just for, like, edits. I love edits of things, so
I
I'm
mean,
still logged into my original account.
I used to make edits, but I don't think I have the app. Nope, I don't have the app anymore. But I just
I'm
like
gonna
to
find the account. I'm gonna find it.
mine.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you.
What? Okay. What do you mean?
I'll give
Oh,
you my
wait,
Tumblr
no.
account.
It was the fan fiction
Yeah, I
that
won't
you
give you my
wouldn't.
fan fiction one. I'll give you my Tumblr one.
I'm glad we've made it back to fan fiction because I wanna know this. Hex, have you ever written fan fiction? And
I
what
have
ships did you
not.
write?
I have
Okay.
not. I'm so sorry.
Do you read fanfic? Have
It's okay.
Have you read fanfiction?
I didn't. I was in weird corners of the internet as a kid because I was homeschooled and my mom and her husband were very, very strict. So like being on the internet was scary and like controlled. So I wasn't like allowed on YouTube and things like that. So when I used the internet, like on my iPod Touch, it was mainly like Twitter and Tumblr and not like researching things or finding things I don't know, and I just, like, never came across, like, fan fiction. Like, I knew it existed, but I don't know, yeah.
Fair enough.
You know what? I love that for you,
Mhm.
but, like, there's a part of me that is like, I feel like preteen not preteen, but, like, early teenage Hex might have, like, really thrived in that Wattpad community. Like, honestly. Did you ever read any, like, imagines on Tumblr? Those ever come across where people were like, "Imagine," and it's your character and you, like, at college getting a coffee?
I don't think so. I
I
think it was mainly, like, Fallout Boy and Avengers gifts and, like, Paramore and all like, Supernatural, Super Wholock, yeah, all that.
Super
Super
Hulock.
Hulock.
Buzzwords. I got chill bumps, you wow. This is like the 3rd or 4th time that a part of Tumblr has been, like, fully exposed on this pod. Super Hulock was a term I have not thought about in forever.
What color are your shoelaces?
Stop. We're moving on. But yeah, this book did feel very much white savior cosplaying as the minorities that he's interested in sexually. And listen, again, sorry, Paul Tobin, if someone sent this to you, you should never be on the internet looking up your own work. I'm gonna say that. I don't really have a lot of remorse for hating this book. You put it out there. You put your energy into saying, since we're close to my apartment, I really want to take a shit and shower. Like, why did you do that? Why
There's
did
also lots of topless women on your website, so, like, you can't be like, "Guys, I'm not horny, I swear," because you
so
are.
true? Yeah, yeah. There's just so much. So that's why I didn't really take a lot of notes because I knew that we would just be able to pull moments. I do have questions though, because while this book sucked in an abysmal way, I do think that the core concept is really fascinating and it's so disappointing that it sucked, that it was not done well. So I do have some questions about how these powers could exist in a world that we lived in and just like hear what you guys think, about the whole concept. Something that I really wish could have been explored in this book was like how seeing the strings like affects how she interacts with people. Like we might have seen that might be why she's so fucking weird, but there's no real conversation about it. Again, there's no growth. If you could see everyone's strings, do you think it would make your relationship easier for you or harder with everyone in your life?
I'm gonna say probably harder just because like, personal experiences and things, trauma, religious
Mhm.
trauma, and yeah, I wouldn't want it to, but, like, realistically, I think it unfortunately would, and I hate that.
That is valid. That is so valid.
Yeah, that is super valid. I don't know though. I don't think it would make it harder, right? If you could see people's strings, especially the hooking up strings, just because, like, I don't know. That's just weird. To me, that's just weird being able to see who people
Yeah.
had partners with. And, like, I don't know, like, if you found out, like, your sibling was a shitty person because they are with somebody and then you find out that they've done something with somebody else, that would make me feel like shit. And then I would have that moral conundrum of should I tell their partner or, talk to my sibling about it or whatever. Like, that's weird. That would suck. And then I just don't even wanna think about the death one. The black one's just that's too much for anybody to have to handle, really, I think.
Yeah, I think that this would be an absolutely terrible power to have. And I do feel like it would fuck you up a whole lot more than Yoon is. Yoon says at the beginning, I'm all fucked up about it, but she doesn't act fucked up about it. And if that's the reason why she's so horny and weird and everything, it's not done in a way that makes you understand that. There's no ramifications for anything that Yoon does in this book. Even the whole person who tries to kill Yoon, that was some like off the cuff bullshit random character that we didn't know. And it was just like, here he is. Yeah, I'm doing this because of my brother. What? I'm not even gonna dive into that. But I'm glad that you said that, Marsh, because the whole of like if my sibling was doing this, would I have to tell this? My next question was, is it ethical for Yoon to use any of this information that she learns through the strings, even if it helps solve crimes? The ethics in this book is really interesting to me because, again, there are no ramifications for anything that Yoon does. And one of you said earlier that Yoon was very, very quick to tell Luke that their partner was cheating on them in a very casual way that was almost cold. Not almost cold, it was cold. It was just matter of fact, and it was literally 5 minutes after meeting Luke. So, what do you guys think about the ethics in this?
The ethics of the ending, like, genuinely pissed me off because I think if I were to write this ending for people who aren't gonna read this, she has been following this black string this entire time, thinking that she's gonna get murdered. She gets kidnapped. She gets out of the ropes with a really dumb excuse. And then the guy's just like, "Oh, okay." And then he starts walking away, and she chooses to shoot him as he's walking away. And it feels like it's supposed to be this moment of empowerment, but it
Hmm.
doesn't feel like it because in any case, like, harming someone that's not attacking you is like granted he attacked her prior, but he in that moment was walking away and was like, I'm leaving." And for her to make that choice and was like, "No, I believe the black string." Like, if I were to write it, I would say in that moment she would choose, and maybe it would be obviously predictable, but choose not to shoot him, and then the black string would fade away, and then it's like, "Oh my god, choices and fate," and, like, that and the fact that she chose to shoot him was insane.
And again, no ramifications. Like, because he actively was just like, "Nah, I'm just gonna leave because, like, I'm gonna get away with this. I don't have to kill you anymore." Like, whatever. He truly was just telling her, "It's over. I got caught. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get out of it." And instead of her just like using the system to try to actually get him taken down, she's like, "No, I believe the black string. I'm gonna kill you." And that shit was crazy to me. And I feel like that says a whole lot about who she is. What do you think, Marsh?
No, I agree wholeheartedly because, like both of you've already said, like she wholeheartedly believed in the black string, and like Hex said, you could have had a choice. The black string could have faded away. We don't know if it still would have been there. But I also think that I, if I remember what I read correctly, which to be fair, I don't remember if I remember. She was like trying to like come up with reasons to kind of like kill him because she was like, well, he could come back and he could come get me. And I was like, ma'am, he literally said he wasn't going to. Like that was going to be it. And like we like you both said, you know, she just decided to take it upon herself to do this thing to murder him, and then there was no consequences about it. She just gets to go home with the random lady and have a time. It was just gross. This whole book was just not for me. Not a me book.
Another thing on ethics too, I forgot she said, "If I accuse people, sometimes they just admit things," and
Mhm.
that was so disgusting, and it, like, immediately made me think of, like, the US military and torturing people and how, like, if you just torture people, they will just admit to things because being
Yep.
threatened, like, obviously, and that was, again, an insanely unethical thing to say.
I mean, it made me think of
Yeah.
like police brutality. You know how people will admit to crimes that have happened, even though weren't had nothing to do with them. But if you keep them in a room long enough, eventually they will just say that they did it.
Yeah, like that kid on Making a Murderer. I don't know if you guys remember that documentary, but they took a kid that was mentally disabled and told him the story over and over again until he said that he did it,
Mm.
and then he got arrested for the murder. Like, even though he had nothing to do with it, there was no evident like, direct DNA evidence linking him to the scene. He was just related to someone they thought did it. So they were like, "We need you to say that it was you and this guy," and he eventually did. It's on camera. Like, it's crazy that that shit happens. And so I'm so glad you said that, Hex, because while Marsh was talking, I thought about that moment and was like, you have these powers. These cops, you work with these cops, and you're admitting that you lie to get people to say and do what you want. Sometimes they just admit, and you never really know if someone's telling the truth or not. So it was just super fucked up. I just really, really, really don't like you, and you know.
It felt like this was like the writer's fantasy of, like, being able to judge people by just, like, knowing everything about them without them telling them is very I don't know. I think if
Hmm.
somebody like James Tynan were to take this concept, or maybe like Teenie Howard, just somebody who's different and actually queer.
Hmm.
Sorry, Paul Tobin, you might be, but,
Well, I'll
uh,
tell you one thing. He is not a queer Korean woman. So
That's valid. That's a valid take.
oh, I had another question. Do you think that the supernatural element enhanced this mystery? Like, would this story have worked if it was just a crime thriller? Would it have been a good crime story had there not been powers?
No.
No, and the powers weren't even, like, used effectively. Like, in the first issue, is telling Luke about her powers before we even see them, and upon, like, reading that, it was like, "Are you really? We could see the powers, and that would be more effective, but we're just, like, dumping exposition like you're dumb," and I hate that.
And then the powers didn't work most of the time.
Well, she
Like, the
has to
string would
focus.
appear and then disappear.
She has
Yeah,
to
she has to focus,
focus.
and she was like, "I was running too fast." Was that what the quote? Or she said, "I was just running."
It was
I was
also
like,
compared to, like,
"Okay, girl."
seducing people. She has to, like, switch it on, like, seducing people. That was a very strange comparison as well to activating her power.
Mhm, mhm. There was just a lot about like, it just felt kinda half-formed. Almost all of it just felt very much not fully thought out, and he just wrote it down and said, "Here you go, publisher. Draw some pictures," you know?
I think he did shrooms or something and then was like, "This is a cool idea." And then Mad Cave was like, I think that's who published it.
Yeah, it's Mad Cave. It's
I
my first Mad Cave book, by the way.
No, I gave you Speed Racer. Oh, you haven't read it yet. Damn.
Oh, I haven't read it yet. No, I will. I will. I forgot that
Um,
is Mad Cave.
I do want to hop back to the ethics though, real fast. In regards to the black string ethics, is it ethical to like see a black string and then try and like stop them from doing the murder before they've done the murder? Like, what are you stopping? They haven't done anything yet, right? So it's like
Mhm.
it's giving very Minority Report. If anyone's seen that film with Tom Cruise, it's giving Minority
Yeah.
Report where like they'll stop you from doing a murder without having done the murder. And so like, what if they ended up not doing the murder? Like it's just very it's a very weird, like,
Dangerous, dangerous territory.
dangerous territory.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the idea that everything is preordained and that, like, you're gonna stop this because it's gonna happen whether you stop it or not. But that people's things change all the time, you know? So I don't know. It's truly just about, like, the ordained theory or not, preordained theory or not, when it comes to that kinda thing. They do it in, like, X-Men, like, Destiny's visions that she sees in the future change all the time. There I go again. Sorry, I heard it that time. I heard that I did it. But yeah, I think that you're right. How do you punish someone for a crime they haven't committed yet just because you think they will one day because you have this black string? She didn't even know if she was gonna be the one to commit the murder or not, you know?
That's one of my points, right? Is like it could be that you're going to be murdered or you're going to commit the murder. But how do you know which is which? You can't know until it happens. It's very I don't know. That part was like really frustrating to me because I was just like, you can't punish someone for something not happening yet. And again, if you're going after somebody who has a black string, you don't know if they're supposed to die or if they're going to commit a murder. So then how are you going to stop them? Like, it's there's a lot of questions. I have lots of questions about how the black
Mhm.
string
It's
works.
reminding me a lot of like religion and church and like kind of telling people that you're sinful and things like that. And I honestly think this story would have been more interesting if the main character was like a pastor of some sort and then developed the ability and then went on like an exploration of morals and things like that. But I don't know if there's a world where this premise ends up written perfectly.
I there are so many options that could have been better. I wanna know the choice behind an Asian character with dyed hair. I wanna know that was the choice. That is a trope that is, like, done to death and honestly should not still be being done in 2024. Like, if you have characters that were written in the '90s and they're still going on, yeah, I could understand that more, but this was a concept created probably in 2022, worked on in 2023, published in 2024, and it's just to it be a white bald man writing it, I don't understand it. I wouldn't do it. I don't get it because it's fetishy. That's why it's fetishy. Everything
And
about this was
ethically,
fetishy.
I can't believe that the publisher, like, let some of that go through. Like, if I was an editor or, like, at the head of Mad Cave and I read, like, that, justified killing statement, I'd be like, "No, we're not publishing that." Excuse me?
Maybe they were like, This is going to be a controversy and people will buy this book because of it." I don't know anybody who's read this book. I hate to say, other than the three of us. I think we're in a real fucked up club now.
We're trauma bonded.
What was some other questions I had? We've hit so many of my questions just in the conversation. So the blue string reveals sexual relationships and the black string reveals murders. If y'all had to invent a third color string, what would it reveal about people? I was trying to find a way to make this fun.
I love that question. I think maybe, like, somebody's true like, passion for, like, love or something. I don't know, whether it's plants or
Oh,
animals or comics, like, something that would bring them joy that, like, is a string to happiness.
hmm, I like that. What color would it be?
I'm thinking green.
I like that. I like that. What about you, Marsh?
I was thinking kind of in the same vein as that actually, but more of like something that I would have in common with somebody else. So like if we ever were like in a like situation where we were like talking to each other, like if we were all in our room together and we didn't know anything about each other, and I could see like Gare likes X-Men, X likes Scarlet Witch. Like I would like know those two things immediately and be like, okay, cool. I know where to like start. Like so we can like
Hmm.
have something going on because I'm super fucking awkward. So if I could have any help talking to people, that would be awesome.
I feel like I use my graphic
Felt
t-shirts like that. It's like, "Talk to me about
That's fair.
things," or my weird
Fair.
literally,
But see,
the labubu.
I would see your shirt and I'd be like, oh, your shirt's cool, and that would be the end of the.
but I'd be like, "Thank you," and it would make my day.
Mine what first of all, actually, what color of string did you say, Marsh?
I didn't
Did you
say
say
a
a color?
color. I did not say a color. I don't know. Blue and what black are I taking?
And green,
Oh,
hexproof
and
green.
green, and green. I'm looking at colors around my room right now. Hang on. I don't know. Blue's already taken. That's stupid.
Dark blue.
No, that's lame. Probably a gold color.
Soccer ball print.
Soccer ball print. You know what? I like that better. Soccer ball print.
Soccer ball print string.
There it is. Soccer ball print.
That was funny.
I like that.
I the one that I thought of was I would like one that would, like, led you to your, like, soul people. Not necessarily, like, romantic love, but, like, the people I feel like we have a lot of soulmates. I feel like they're very specific soulmates for specific times in your lives, and I think that would be a cool thing, a cool concept in a story was like, you know who you're attached to, and like playing with the idea that like when those strings fade away, those friendships, those relationships ended because you go through a lot as you grow up, you know? I feel like it took me into my 30s to like find a solid group of people that I like want to keep around forever, you know? Because you outgrow a lot in your 20s and in your teens. So I was thinking like a gold string before, but I also was thinking like a bright white, like a glowy kind of string.
What
But
about
yeah,
like
The
I
Fantastic Four blue one that connects you to right above me.
I had to think of something fun because I was like, this is not gonna be fun. Actually, I've had a lot of fun bitching about this book with y'all though, but I was
this
so
been
worried
pretty
it was
fun?
just gonna be us just all being mad and not a talkative way. So I'm glad that we yapped about how much we hate this book. Were there any more things in your notes that you wanted to talk about before we move on to better topics and things?
Honestly, half of the notes are just like me writing down crazy quotes. Like
Hit them with a few
Yeah,
quotes,
I was just gonna
actually.
say
Hit them
say
with a few
what are
quotes.
some of them?
the I get horny when I'm anxious was one of them. Let's see. You're on your own with the pissing, and like the fact that pee and piss and shit was like brought up over and over and over again.
You know
You're on
what's
your own with the
funny?
pissing. Crazy as
What?
fuck.
Who says that? Who nobody talks like that. Like, and that was such a
No,
like this whole comic, like nobody talks like this in real life. It was so weird.
So what's funny to me about some of those lines is that like I've been with my husband for a couple years now, right? You know, whatever. Like I'll say, "Oh, I have to go poop," or "I have to go to the bathroom," or like, "I have to pee." Okay, yeah, those words. I won't ever say I have to shit shit then shower.
We gotta stop home because I gotta shit and take a shower.
that was so fucking crazy. But it's again, that's such a good point, Marsh, because that's the only time you really talk like that are with people that you are
Really
wildly,
comfortable with.
ridiculously, annoyingly
Mm-hmm.
comfortable with, you know? They've seen everything, they've heard all the noises that you can make, like, it's you can talk about things like that. Like, those are things that I would never say to my friends. I'd be like, "I have to go be mysterious for a little while, you guys, goodbye," if I had to use the restroom. I just didn't get it, and so, like, she met them 1 day before and was
Mm-hmm.
like, "By the way," just crazy. Were there more quotes that you had that were crazy? Because now I'm flipping through because I remember there was some things that I was like, "What the fuck?"
Just the I will not be the woman with the frying pan, and then the whole, like, scene of her with the frying pan. Also, I don't know if you guys felt like it, but all the fight scenes were just so weird, and it just was, like, just cussing, like, "Fuck, fuck, fuck, bitch, whore, bitch, bitch, whore, whore, whore," and it felt like him just, like, using those words over and over again.
What do you mean you don't fight like that? You don't just yell "fuck, fuck, fuck" when you're hitting
I mean, maybe if,
somebody
like,
with a
my
frying
dog's
pan?
running after a rabbit or something.
Never. You're so right about that. Like, whenever the person tried to run over her with the car, and that lady was just screaming, "Bitch, bitch, you bitch, bitch, bitch.
He
Get
got
your hands
really
off me, you
sexist
bitch,
over
you
that.
bitch." Yeah, it was rough. It
I
was
like
rough.
I wrote down, "Okay, misogyny." There's such a strange juxtaposition from being so sex positive, like, just a page prior, to then being like, "Sorry you haven't been fucked by anybody, and anybody that you'd sleep with, I never would." That felt
Mhm.
so disgusting, and it's
But
like, "What?"
it was okay for him to say it because he had a woman say it to another woman. It wasn't a man saying it to a woman, and I guarantee you that was the thought process. There was a lot in this book. Roll a 20-sided die for dick size. It's mostly a six-sided die out in the real world, but whatever, it's a fantasy campaign. Girl, shut the fuck up. That was
The
so
bondage
random and out
thing
of nowhere.
where she was like he was like, "How'd you get out of the rope so quick?" And she was like, "My girlfriend in college and I used to do bondage, and she would think you're not good at it."
Forgot about that. That's actually crazy.
You know, I'm kinda
Oh,
sad
this is a book.
I'm glad I'm sad I don't have the book so I can flip through with you guys because I'm sure I
I'm
would have
gonna
found
mail it
some
to
stuff.
you. It's yours now. I'm just gonna mail it to you. This cannot stay in my home.
You can just send it back to Amazon, assuming that's where you bought it from.
It's been like a month and a half. Can I still do that?
I don't know. You have to go see.
I don't know
Go
the
go try
rules.
go try and return it. See what happens.
I
Honestly,
don't know Jeff like that.
I would say donate it to the library, but
Or no,
I'm not the this.
you know, actually, what's funny that you said that. I was reading a review and someone was like, "I got this from the library," and I was like, "Yikes!"
I looked up reviews too, and on Goodreads, it was like a lot of them were like 3.5 stars, and a lot of them were like, "It's good, but it's really horny." Like, and that was that was the general
It's
consensus.
really hard.
I just
Uh,
listen. This was a book that we read. It was a book that we read. And that's all I can really say about it at this point anymore. What out of 5 stars would you give it, you guys? For those listeners who need a star rating and need to know if they need to read this, what would you give it?
Is half a star generous?
Yeah, valid though. It's valid because some of the art was really beautiful.
I do like the colors and the art was fine. It was just the writing was off.
Rob, I gave it 3 stars for each book on Comic Geeks, and that felt really generous when I was giving them, and I was like, "I just feel bad. I just feel bad. I just feel bad."
No, because so this kind of happened to me last year where I started reading a comic and then I hit a spot where there was like bam, random foot fetish thing, and it just like completely took me out of the story, and I like didn't keep reading it, and I felt crazy, and I like kind of felt the same way with this, and then it was like as I kept reading and it was like more and more of the writing was just like insanely horny. I was like, okay, I'm not nuts. Like there are people that just write like this, and like it is bad.
Mhm.
You know
Mhm.
what? I'm gonna give it a 1 star just because of the art. The rest of it is awful and atrocious. Do not read
Yeah, I think I'm gonna
this.
match
If you're listening, do not read this. Find something else to read.
If you want to read a
unless you're
comic
just like
about a bi woman, read Lilith by Corin Howell. Ooh, camera, where's it at?
There you
There
go.
we go. This is about a bi demon who is trying to get back to like hell or where she came from. And then she meets a woman who can read the book. And then she decides maybe she wants to stay and maybe she doesn't want to go back to hell. So
that
it was
sounds
really
great.
great.
We should have read that, Gare.
Yeah, that sounds much better than this. Much better than this. I would give it a 1 star. I agree with the whole don't read this book. Unless you're just like a really horny bad person, then go ahead and read it because I think you'll love it. But otherwise, don't read it. If you're a youngin, you shouldn't be here anymore, by the way. If you're a youngin listening to this, I don't know why you're here. Don't tell your dad. Don't tell your dad. But don't read this book. Just don't. It's just ass. If you want to look up the covers, if you want some art, look up some covers, but no. Read what did you say? What is it called?
Lilith.
By Corin Lilith by Corin Howell?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds great. Well, are you guys ready to put this behind us forever?
I have a fun question for you guys before we end.
Yes.
Okay, I'm ready.
Who were your childhood cartoon crushes?
Okay, you go ahead, Marsh.
Hold on, I have to look them up. I don't remember. So give me a sec.
Oh, I remember. Okay. Like, do you want like a cutie? You want the full, honest, embarrassing answer? I feel like at this point I have to say it anyway. I have some that are really embarrassing. Cartoon crushes, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like mine would
Okay.
be the Angelina Jolie fish from Shark Tale and maybe like Robin Hood and Marion from the Disney Robin Hood movie, The Foxes.
Yeah.
Also the Hex Girls.
Robin Hood was the whole fox of it all. That's why that was my one of my embarrassing ones. Robin Hood, but I also feel like a lot of people love Robin Hood. He was hot. He's still hot. I'm not even gonna lie. But Prince Eric from The Little Mermaid, kind of the blueprint of like dream guy for me. And I don't know why I can just see myself with all that red hair. I feel like I look just like her. Prince Eric, and then oh, there's another one. Oh, this one's kinda crazy. When I was really little, I really loved what's his name? Dodger and Oliver& and Company, that dog, his
Mhm.
voice, that voice actor, I don't know what is about it, and he was so cool, and I was like, "I wanna be that dog when I grow up," and then when I got older, I was like it was that whole thing of like, did I wanna be him or did I want to kiss him? Not
Exactly.
really the dog, but the voice actor, whoever that man was, and he was really cool. So, as a little kid, I was just, like, obsessed with that dog.
Fair. Okay, I have found a few of mine. I had to remember. So, but you brought it up. Also, Robin Hood from
Let's go.
from the Robin Hood films. Or film, there's only one. What is his name? Basil from Baker Street from The Great Mouse Detective?
Oh,
Oh,
The Great Mouse Detective is
it's good.
fantastic.
You should watch it. It's so
You
good.
should watch it.
It's
It's
really,
so
really
good
good.
as an adult. It's one of those that's like, "Oh, this was made for adults." Like, when
Mhm.
you watch it back as an adult.
It's like a Sherlock Holmes film.
Mhm.
It's really, really good. But Basil from Baker Street, Sailor Jupiter from Sailor Moon,
I miss Sailor Moon so bad.
Very good.
Gambit, of course, from X-Men from the cartoon, Simba from The Lion King.
Not a Kovu girly?
No, it wasn't a Kobu girly.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, listen, I saw Lion King like 30 something times in the theater. Okay, you just gotta let me.
Yeah, you also don't love a bad boy, though,
I
right?
don't. I don't love a bad boy.
Yeah.
Trying to think of other ones. Those are all the ones that come to mind at like present.
Maybe Milo and Kita from Atlantis.
Oh my god. Oh, Milo, I went through a phase,
I've
in
never
adulthood.
Esmeralda. I think
never
Esmeralda is
seen.
part of the reason I like Scarlet Witch so much.
I can see that. Oh,
That's
I loved
valid.
her growing up. See, she was someone I wanted to be, actually. I look back at all the girls that I was obsessed with, and I'm like, "Oh, I just wanted to be them." Like, the Fabulous, that white blouse and the purple flowy skirt, come on. See, now I wanna watch
Um,
that again, even though that movie's so sad.
the gargoyle, the hot gargoyle from Gargoyles. Shut up, kid! Don't
Okay.
give me that face.
No,
Get out of here.
well, I couldn't remember what you were talking about, and we were just talking about Hunchback, so I thought you were talking about the gargoyle in Hunchback, and I was like, "Hold on now. I'm not a kink shamer, but unless it's Paul Tobin."
Exactly. Exactly.
I wish I could think
Um,
of other ones though. I'm sure there's a lot more.
I'm sure there's a lot more for me too. Do you have more, Hex? Because you said Robin Hood, Milo and Kita,
I mean,
Esmeralda.
PJ,
jellyfish was rent
PJ
free in my brain.
from Recess.
Is that the one with the pigtails?
No. That's
He's
Gretchen.
the one with the red hat.
He had the red
Oh, I
hat.
loved Gretchen. I felt like I was Gretchen, though, if I'm being honest with y'all.
I
I
have a
really related to
crush
Gretchen.
on the voice actress that did Gretchen's voice,
Who was it?
Ashley Johnson.
Love Ashley Johnson. They
Huge
announced the Among Us cast
crush.
today. Did y'all see that? She's in it.
No, is
Mm.
she?
Look up the cast list. It's fucking bonkers. That
Did
cast
you
list
guys
is
hear
crazy.
Scooby Doo's coming to Dead by Daylight?
No.
Oh god, I'm gonna have to play that game.
Oh, I
again.
gotta re-downloaded the game. I gotta re-download it.
I've like waited and hesitated, and I just saw that announcement this morning. And when they were like, and a mystery and a guy in a mask, I got chills, and I was like, oh man.
That's great. Like full standing up Scooby Doo. Is that one of the characters that you're gonna get to play?
I didn't see footage. It was like just the Dead by Daylight like announcement thing. So I didn't
Mm.
like it was just like the Dead by Daylight X and then Scooby Doo logo. I don't know if they shared any footage.
I only see 2 people attached to the Wolf Among Us to Gare. I don't see anyone else.
No. Sorry, not Wolf Among Us. Among Us, the TV show.
The
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the
you
video
guys.
game?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yep. Like the cast list: Ashley Johnson, Chemical Glenn, Patton Oswalt, and then there's some like really really famous people that I was baffled by.
Elijah Wood.
Yes, that one.
Let's see, Randall Park, Ashley Johnson, Yvette Nicole Brown, Elijah Wood, Dan Stevens. His name sounds familiar. That's the guy from
Downton Abbey and
thank
Beast
you.
and Beauty and the
Yes,
Beast.
yes. Liv Houston, Kimiko Glenn, Wayne Knight, Deborah Wilson, Phil Lamar, and Patton Oswalt.
Is it gonna be animated or
Yeah.
live action?
Yes.
Yep, animated.
Okay.
Crazy, crazy. Speaking of Liv, though, do either of you guys watch Yellow Jackets?
Yes.
I love Liv on there. I'm excited for that to come out. I think they finally finished filming season 4, so it should be coming out soon.
I remember seeing the
Are
actress for Misty like crying on TikTok because they were filming the last season.
Mhm. She's gone through a lot this year too, that actress, Sammy Hanratty. She gave birth to her baby and had a lot of medical issues, and then her, like, job, it's ending, and so I feel like she's gone through a lot. I love Yellow Jackets deeply in a crazy way.
It's
I've
so
only
It's a
seen
wild ass
I've only
show.
seen the first season.
Well, I'm so glad I didn't start talking about spoilers because I almost did about one of the characters. I almost did, and then I had the thought, maybe they're not caught up yet, so I'm glad I didn't.
I have one more person that I had a crush on when I was from cartoon characters. Danny Phantom.
Yes,
Yeah.
same.
the whole cast of Avatar: The Last Airbender too. Figure basically.
Oh my god. Oh my god. There was somebody on Nickelodeon that I was really into, but I can't remember. I wish I could remember who it was because it would have been when I was like 10 or 11. It was not SpongeBob. I want to say that with a full chest. It was not SpongeBob.
I don't even
There
like
was what were
SpongeBob,
the
so
shows? Was it,
oh.
Rocket Power? I don't even remember the kid's name, but one of the boys on Rocket Power, I remember being like 8 or 9 being like, "Yeah, that's who I wanna be." Again, didn't wanna be him, wanted to kiss him. I was like 8. But yeah, usually how we end this, we talk about a pop culture thing that we're obsessed with right now, and we pitch it to one another and then also to the listener. I'm gonna go ahead and say that I'm gonna use Yellow Jackets, what I just did, as mine because I don't have one this week because I'm still deep into Love Island and only Love Island right now. So I don't have any new rants this week. What are you guys obsessed with pop culture wise this week?
I just saw Backrooms last week, and I'm still thinking about it. I keep, like, consuming all kinds of TikToks and YouTube videos about, different little details, and I wanna see it again.
I've always seen people talk bad about it. What I don't even know what it's about. What can you pitch it to me about why I should go see it? Like, I don't know anything about it.
So, it kinda like liminal horror in the way that, like, being lost in, like, a dead mall or, like, an office building is just, like, creepy. It's this idea that you kind of clip out of reality and into, like, an infinite office building, and it just keeps expanding and copying reality in ways that feel familiar but are just quite off and uncanny. But it's about a man who owns a furniture store and he's going to therapy and trying to get help, and he discovers the back rooms in the basement of his furniture store, and then he entices some other people in there and things ensue, and it's an interesting exploration about trauma, I think, and how we repeat cycles and things that are familiar to us, even though they're painful.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
That sounds very specific to me, like my own personal I'm constantly repeating cycles. My therapist and I talk about it all the time, where and it's because they feel familiar and you don't really realize that you're in it until it's over or
Mhm.
it near the end, and then you realize, "Oh, I'm in it again. How do I get out?" And it's so that's interesting. That makes me wanna watch it. I've seen people talk about it. Young people, like young people seem to really not like it, and I will say that people like 25 and older have liked it a whole lot more, and I think I just assumed it was because it was like a deep horror movie, like in the way that like The Babadook is. Like a lot of
Mhm.
people didn't love that The Babadook was so emotionally deep, you know? And so that makes me excited to watch it because I hadn't watched it yet either, and mostly because I did not know what it was gonna be because 'cause it's
Yeah.
been shrouded in a lot of mystery, you know? So that's a really good pitch.
Yeah, I think a lot of the people that maybe like aren't as into it, because I didn't know much about it going into it. I have been into dead malls and dying malls, and like I'll watch videos of urban exploration, and just there's something so eerie about things that we used to occupy being empty and like crumbling that fascinates me. And so I went back and watched Kane Parsons' original Backrooms video, and there's way more than I realized, but I only watched his first original short film. And I think that that's a good introduction before you watch the movie of just like the general vibe. It's also like kind of Blair Witch, like found footage if you like that kind of thing. It's a good slow, like creepy, not overtly slasher horror.
And say I love that. I
So
love that.
it's more like elevated horror then? Is that
I
what
think
you
so,
would
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Which a lot of people really do not like elevated horror. They need it to be big knife slash slash, you know? And I get that. I said that's fun sometimes, but I do like to think.
Sometimes I don't
We're
like to
we're in a
think.
literary crisis, a
Sometimes I don't
literacy
like to think
crisis
it.
either. But when it comes to horror, I've found that I do now because I've seen so many. It's just like so many things just feel like everything else. So when something does come along and it feels new and it feels fresh, I really enjoy it. Like I loved Talk to Me for that reason.
Oh,
A
that's
lot of people
so
don't
good.
like Talk to Me. It wasn't scary enough, and I was like, "Sorry, y'all, that's fucking horrifying." Same with their second film. Did you guys watch their second film, Bring Her Back?
No, but I
Okay.
wanted to.
I have the talk to me hand, like, literally in the other room, but I hated that second movie. If you
I
wanna see
hated the
it, I
second
can go
movie.
get it.
I do wanna see it. My name is written on the movie, and it written on the hand in the movie, which is crazy. That's the only reason why I watched that in the first place. Because someone sent me a picture of their, like, TV screen and was like, "Your name is on this hand," and I was like, "What is that?" But that second movie is fucking terrible. Go get the hand. Yes, I would love to
I'll
see
be
it.
right back.
I'm so jealous right now. Oh my
Of the
god.
hand?
Yes. I almost bought it on the A24 website.
Oh, that's fair. I will say that I don't have to pitch my pitch to you because 'cause you've already read it, but I'll still pitch it
Okay,
anyway.
period, period, period. I know what it is.
You do
That's
know
so
what it is.
exciting. That's so exciting. Oh, I could see it in the frame. She's right there. Oh my god, it's so much bigger than I thought it was.
That's so cute. It's almost creepy. Like, I kinda hate it. It's so cool, but I kinda hate it.
I need
It
it. I need
it's
it.
it's like a bowl and an incense burner. I've never used it for either, but, like, A24 sells it, and I like movie props and collecting props, so I was like,
No,
Yeah,
that's
I
really
want
cool. That's really cool.
it.
that's so freaking sick. That's so freaking sick.
It's
I've
really
seen that
heavy.
movie so many times. I wanna see the new one that just came out, it's not by the same people, but it's an Australian horror film, and it's got the little boy from Talk to Me in it. It's called Leviticus. It's about a demon that kills gay people, and it's got a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. It just came out this past weekend.
Oh, I didn't realize it was out. I remember seeing the
Thing.
trailers a couple weeks ago.
I think it's out in Australia. I don't think it's out here yet, or New Zealand, one of the 2. I don't think it's here yet. A lot of people are angry that it's not here yet because apparently a lot of theaters are not booking it. So, and they're trying to make it a thing, but I think it might just be like that it's a smaller film, an independent film, and a lot of places around the country don't get
Yeah.
independent films, you know? But it looks so good. It looks so good. Marsh, what is your pop culture pitch for the week?
So I don't watch a lot of TV anymore. I really don't do a lot of anything anymore. I just sit in the dark. But, I'm currently
That is not
reading
true.
Marsh just
I
hidden in
would
the
be
bedroom
It's not
concerned.
true.
constantly.
It's not true. I'm currently reading, Grant Morrison's new X-Men, and honestly, I've been putting it off for the longest time because the art does not speak to me. I absolutely do not like the art. But
That is valid.
the
That
writing
is
in this
valid.
book is so good, and I asked Gare because like, I wanted to read some of the, like, Emma Scott stuff because I'm a slut for drama, okay?
Yeah.
And so
Mhm.
especially when it's not mine. So he's like, "Start this." So finally, I got this book for my birthday, and I started reading it a couple weeks ago, and I don't know what the backstory is for Scott, though. So I need to ask Gare what's going on with Scott. So, like, his mind got taken over or something, and so he's been, like, super distant from Jean, and he's kinda, like, confiding into Emma, and, like, I'm here for that. But also, we got introduced to Cassandra Nova, who is the scariest villain I think I've ever seen in my life. What is that stupid-ass movie? Daredevil no, Deadpool.
Deadpool and
Yep.
Wolverine.
Deadpool and Wolverine do not
She
do
was
her
the best part
justice.
about it.
They don't even do her
And she
justice.
was. They don't do her justice,
They
but she
don't do her
was the best part
justice,
about it.
but
That actress was
She was
incredible.
Yeah, that actress was too young to play her. The actress was incredible, but I wish they would have made Cassandra as old as she is in the books because I feel like so much of why she's so scary, not only are the things she's doing, but, like, they grotesquely, like, use, like, old loose skin to make things much scarier. Loose skin freaks me out. As someone who has, like, loose skin freaks me out in a crazy way, and so, there's a lot of body horror stuff in New X-Men with Cassandra.
oh, okay. Well,
They
yeah,
did
that's
the hands coming through the eyes.
they did. Yes. Wait, do I know where that is?
We
No, I
have a
don't know
bunch
where
of
that is.
covers of this at the comic shops I work at, and I'm always, like, flipping through them thinking about how insane they look.
Yes. This whole honestly, so far has been pretty insane. There was one part that I wanted to show because I did like I said, I don't really like the art all that much, but there was a spot where like this guy who's trying to make like mutant human hybrids basically like beats the heck out of Scott and Emma, and I just thought this panel was like so beautiful just because like it's cut into like 4 spots
Oh, that's cool.
and but like his message is really gross. Like I don't like him as a person. But yeah, my pitch is just to read this book. I don't really have anything else to say towards it. Cassandra Nova is scary. The X-Men are kind of cool. Charles is now in space. Jean's a badass. Yeah, that's my pitch.
Gene is in, or not Gene's. So Charles is in space. He just goes to space a lot. He leaves those kids behind, and then he comes back and he yells at them when they mess up, but he wasn't there to help. I can't stand Charles Xavier, and I will say it until my dying day. That bald bitch. You
Oh,
gonna act like that and be bald?
and this book made me care about Beast, and I really don't like Beast, but like I was like actively crying for Beast. Okay.
Yeah. There are some stories out there that Beast is okay in, but most of the time, prison, jail time, take him away in handcuffs.
Ew.
Straight to jail. Yeah, I don't have a pop culture pitch this week, like I said. Watch Yellow Jackets. That's it. If you haven't watched it, watch it. It's fun. Season 4 should come out soon. Are there any final thoughts on anything before we do our little outro?
Don't read
Oh, I
string.
love this.
I think maybe my final thought is, ladies, if you're thinking about writing a comic and Paul Tobin has been published, You can write that comic.
Oh, you ate that up.
Yep.
You ate that up. That's so true. Hex, thank you for joining us today. It was a blast. I knew it would be. Very stoked that you said yes when we asked you to do this.
Thank you guys for having me. So honored. So grateful to be here.
It's been really
Go
fun.
follow Hex on TikTok and Instagram. It has been a blast. And yeah, same time next week, Marsh.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Stay hexy.
Period. That's cute.
Period.
That's cute.